Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're all aware of the dangers of riding. I mean, people remind us all the time. Every time we tell a friend we're going out on a ride, it's like, oh, be careful out there, all that. So we're all well aware of that. But today I want to talk about the benefits of riding, especially benefits of riding as we age. So stick around if you want to hear me chat about that. Riding motorcycles helps our physical fitness. When we're out handling this 900-pound machines, they're heavy. Like, to move them around, you have to use a significant amount of effort. Riding them also requires effort. We steer not only with our hands, but basically with our whole body, which means engaging your core, your back muscles. When we're out and we ride for a few hundred miles and we come back, we're all sore. If we go a significant amount of time without riding, when we come back to riding, that first ride, you get back home and we're feeling it. There's a level of fitness, of physical fitness necessary to be able to operate a machine like this. There's also the fact that they get us out. I mean, look at today. Today's December 8th, and we were blessed in North Carolina with a beautiful 60-degree sunny day. If it wasn't for the bike, I'd probably be doing something else. I'll probably take out my grill and cook something. Maybe have a few beers when I'm grilling some meat. But instead, it's December. It's 60 degrees. It's beautifully and sunny. It's beautiful and sunny. I'm taking the bike out. So I'm out on the sun and I'm doing physical work. Now, this is low impact, right? It doesn't compare with like lifting weight or running or riding a bicycle or anything like that. This is very low impact. But yeah, I am out and I'm active. I'm riding my bike. I'm doing something. And because I love riding, then it's easy for me to come out. The other thing that happens is because I love riding so much and I'm planning on doing a long ride, then I'm actually motivated to exercise. Through my life, I've been up and down because of, honestly, lack of commitment with physical fitness. When I was young, it was easy because I love to play basketball. So just playing a sport kept me in shape. But as I age, my knees are not what they used to be. So now my knees can't take the pounding of playing basketball anymore. So now I have to do other things, which are generally repetitive and mundane and kind of like boring. Well, I love this. This ain't boring. So this motivates me to get out, and it motivates me to try to keep myself in some sort of decent, workable physical condition so that I can operate the machine. So that's that. It helps with our physical fitness. And as we age, that becomes more critical because when we get older, we start losing muscle mass. If we're not consistently exercising, as we age, we're gonna lose muscle no matter what. But if we are active and we continue doing some type of exercise, then you can delay that process a little bit. The act of riding a motorcycle requires our brain to be constantly stimulated. We're constantly scanning the road for danger and for different things. And the brain is constantly engaged, just making tons of calculations the whole time. Like, riding a motorcycle requires a lot of coordination. You clutch with your left hand and you shift with your left foot. you know, and then you kind of like read the sound of the engine to determine if you're in the right gear or if you're too high and you need to downshift, right? And get a little bit more torque. As you're doing that, you're engaging and pulling the throttle, gassing, like pulling the throttle and requesting more power from the engine, or just letting go and using a little bit of engine braking. And then your brain is just calculating how much brake pressure do you need to use to slow down the bike enough for the situation that you're presented. So there's hundreds, I don't know, maybe thousands of things that are being processed by your brain, by our brains as we're riding. You see, I see a railroad crossing and my leg and suspension is awesome, but still my butt is a lot happier when I take those railroad crossings slower. So all of that stimulus on the brain just keeps it young. It keeps it healthy. It is constantly engaged in activity. So one of those things, as we get older, that also declines. Our brain capacity declines. We start seeing deterioration, and engaging in activities like this, even like if you never ridden before, learning to ride a bike as you're older forces your brain to learn new things, and it stimulates parts of your brain that have never been stimulated before. You're going to be dealing with different things. That will keep your brain young. That will keep your brain sharp. I mean, like I said, like all of those micro calculations. As I'm taking a turn, I saw 45 miles per hour, which I'm never gonna do. But it's how much do I have to press the handlebar towards the left so that the bike can lean and turn to the right, which is counterintuitive. It's counter steering, but it's something that our brains just do automatically when you're riding. All of those things just keep our brain active. Then there's mental health, which is closely related to brain health. Like brain chemistry directly affects mental health. And I've talked about mental health before on this channel. I've been pretty open about my struggles through the years with it, But that's another part that riding a motorcycle helps greatly with mental health. The release of dopamine and serotonin, right? Dopamine in our brains is associated with pleasure and satisfaction and happiness. And then serotonin is associated with sleep and memory and things like that, right? So it influences our mood. It influences the way our body works, and it generally keep us all together healthy. It's a thing of mind body thing. Like, the brain is not a muscle, it's an organ, but it's kind of like a muscle in the way that if it's not stimulated, it can suffer deterioration. And if the brain deteriorates, then our mental health suffers. And if our mental health suffers, our complete well-being suffers. So it's a matter, I mean, really, when you think about it, yeah, there are dangers to riding. The benefits, are great, especially as we age. But yeah, generally speaking, like, riding motorcycles keep us healthy all around, mind, body, and soul. So what am I saying? right? What am I actually saying with all of this? What I'm saying is that with everything, with our health, whether it's physical or mental, if we don't use it, if we don't use our muscles, if we don't use our brain, if we're not stimulating our body, then we lose it. At work, we have use it or lose it, leave, vacation time. And it's the same with our physical capacities. We don't use it. If we spend our time on the couch not doing anything, we start suffering. If we don't do physical activity, we start suffering of muscle atrophy, and we start losing some of that functional strength and physical ability to do things. And it's the same with the brain. The brain starts suffering from atrophy, and we lose some of our mental capacity. We start losing some of that sharpness. And I'm not saying we're going to push back aging forever. Father Time is undefeated. Father Time will always win at the end. We will get older, but if we can stay active and stay healthy longer, motorcycles can help us with that. We ride not to add years to our life, but to add life to our years. Well, when we really think about it, that's very true, but we're also adding enjoyable years to our life. And maybe we are extending our life a little bit. I don't know. What I do know is this. I know of a bunch of people that I used to work with. And when I say a bunch, man, at least 5 come to mind. I've been working with my organization for 24 years. I saw some of them that were extremely committed to the work. And they had great work-life balance, but there were others that were very committed to the work, and their whole identity was work. Everything about their life was about their job, right? Their identity came from what they did, from their position. And then they pushed retirement, and when they retired, but I remember the pain when this one co-worker retired, and my friends, it wasn't 2 years. He didn't make it 2 years. He got really ill and passed away. And I think it's important for us to have other things, right? Something that can keep us engaged in the later years, something that's ours, right? So that we can, yes, add life to our years, but we can also add years to our life, meaningful years, enjoyable years. That is my plan. What is your plan, guys? Do you agree with what I'm saying, or do you think I'm full of it? But I definitely want to hear your thoughts. I enjoy listening, reading your perspectives on things. And if you're watching this video and you have been enjoying the content, consider subscribing to the channel. And if you know somebody that you think will enjoy this type of content, then share this video with them. And I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm just gonna enjoy this day, man. It is a treat to have a day like this in December. So ride safe, guys, and I'll see you guys on the wind.